So before I get into the unboxing, I just wanted to give you a quick update of how I found the sock machine and why I got it in the first place. I'm a crocheter. What am I doing with a circular sock machine anyway? I really wanted to learn how to make socks. So I did crochet socks, and they're super cute and they have their place, but it's not the sock experience that I was looking for. So I tried to learn how to knit socks, but learning to knit on knitting socks is maybe not the first step, or at least I couldn't wrap my brain around it. That's when I saw a get together called a Crank in Kansas City, and checked out the Dean & Beans circular sock machine. And while it is still learning a new skill, I was totally smitten. And so here we are a couple months later. Sorry about that. My dog came into the room and started barking. Anyway, here we are several months later, and I am finally getting my start on my circular sock machine experience. So I'm going to be learning throughout the whole process, and you guys get to come along with me for all of my mistakes and all of my triumphs. It is time for me to unbox my circular sock machine from Dean & Beans. Let's see what's in it. I wanted all of the tools, toys, accessories, and extras that come along with the Dean & Beans circular sock machine. So what I received is a very large box of everything you could want for a CSM machine, for a circular sock machine. And the packaging is excellent. I mean, look at this. It was a one big box with a bunch of other boxes inside. So let's just open this up and kind of take a look at what we have inside. So in this box, we have the actual machine itself and the color work yarn mask. Color work is not something I'm going to attempt right away. It's probably something I'm going to do. I'm going to definitely try it, but not right away. And here we have the actual machine. Look at this. Oh, I got these colors are are specialty colors, bright green and purple. And the ribber package. Okay, so now the ribber is obviously, I guess maybe it's obvious, it creates ribbing. But again, the ribbing is something that I think is a little bit more tedious, and so also not something I'm going to attempt immediately. Okay, and these are my extra cylinders. Once again, like I said, I wanted to get everything that you could possibly need. So there are 5 cylinders available. Oh, look, here's the tape. No, I'm going to leave that tape in place. That tape is there to keep everything together. I'm going to leave it in place for just now. Okay, so there are 5 cylinders available. And they go up from size 48 to 72. It's marked right there. I think that's the beginning mark. So they go up from sizes 48 to 72. And I think that there's one that is considered the standard, but I don't know really which one that is. So when I say 48 to 72, what I'm really meaning is that's how many needles are in each one of these canisters. Right here is where the needles are, and there is room for a certain number of needles. So each one of those needles represents a stitch. So depending on gauge and just depending on how many needles you have, that's what your circumference is of a tube. Okay, and then we have the soft weights, and these come in 2.5, 1.5, and I think a half a pound. And these are really important when you're actually creating your socks. I learned how important they are when I went to the workshop in Kansas City. I'm very excited to open up this box. This is all the sock machine accessories. So this is like what I'm going to be working with immediately to start my whole experience, my yarn, my circular sock machine experience. This has the table clamps, the cable ring, darning needle, yarn mast, a lot of the immediate tools that I need. Ooh, those are pretty. All right, so let's take a look in here. Thank you note, that's so sweet. Okay, that's the dowel for the yarn mast. That's so sweet that I got a thank you card. I'll read that in a minute. Okay, so I'm not really sure what the V hook set is for, but I'll take a look at that later. I don't think it's a beginner item because I didn't use it at the workshop, and I was a complete beginner. Oh, look at that, spare parts. That is very thoughtful. I like that. Okay, I think I'm gonna just set this aside and go through each item one by one. So these are the bonnets. And you need a different one for every. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna. For every size cylinder. I don't know why I always want to call them a cartridge, but a cylinder. And gosh, look at how pretty they are. You can make your own, and there's a pattern to make your own, but I didn't want to have to worry about making my own setup bonnet, considering that I kind of don't know what I'm doing anyway, and I know that this is going to be like a new talent. Oh, look at that one. I like that one too. So I didn't want to have to figure out how to make a setup bonnet for my first, I don't know, go around. I think that when you're learning a new skill, you just want to figure it out. I don't know, make it as easy as you can on yourself. That's my purpose here. Every time I try learn a new skill, just to figure it out, make it easy on myself. But I really do like these yarns that they're using for those setup bonnets. Okay, so next up, we have the Essentials Plus Toolkit, and that has, so it's got several things in it that are listed. It looks like that is for using a rolling yarn, and then these are the tools, the latch, loom, pick, set, and weighted clamps. Those are binder clips with a weight on them. Those were really handy the weekend of my workshop. Okay, and then here I have a ruler and tweezers, as well as a small pair of scissors. So really, I mean, just all of the little things that you need are included in this set. I mean, that's just really super cool. And then additional compound needles. Now, the cylinders don't come with the needles, obviously, in them. So I got extra cylinders, so I need extra compound needles. What I don't know is if you can actually leave the needles in the in the cylinder, if you don't, if you're not using it. And I think that would be a good thing for me to figure out. Okay. Gosh, there's a bunch of little things in here, and I think every single one of them is going to be important for something that I'm going to need to do, and it'll make my life easier while I'm learning how to, oh, I love that little name brand screwdriver, and a yarn feeder height gauge. Looks like the state of Kansas. Ravel cord. Ravel cord is actually, I've never heard of it until the workshop, and I think it's really great. That's a little magnet. And light bulb stitch markers. These are, I don't really have light bulb stitch markers, but I did find at the workshop that these are stitch markers. The shape of them is a perfect shape to be using when you're working. And then a clamp tool that actually is also very handy. One of the nice things about going to the workshop before I had any experience with the machine is that I came in without any preconceived notions. I didn't know about any tools, and I let them just teach me about the tools altogether. And that turned out to be super helpful. The Ravel cord, for example, I am such a fan of that Ravel cord. We'll go into that a little bit more when I try to start making things. And here's my not my color mask, but my yarn feeder that goes with the purple dowel. That's really cute. And then some clamps that hold your machine, attach your machine to the table. Now, these clamps, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to want to replace with something a little bit sturdier. And then the heel forks. These heel forks, I also learned to love that weekend because they give you weight that's put in very specifically, and you can move them to be where you want the weight. I'm not really explaining that very well, but we'll figure it out as we go along. And then a light so that while I'm working, I have a good amount of light in my workspace. Wow, so much stuff. I have to be honest, I am really excited to get started. I love looking at all the tools and such fun colors. Okay, let's just take a look at everything here, because what I have assembled, what I received in this box is everything you could ever need for your Dean and Bean circular sock machine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go onto the Dean and Bean circular sock machine website, deanandbean.com, and I'm going to download all of the instructions, the tutorials, and the patterns that they have for free. And I'm going to work through each and every one of those because my goal, I think, is by the end of the summer to be an absolute, I don't know, master, genius, sock genius, maybe not a sock genius, but I really want to be able to know exactly what I'm doing with this tool and be able to say, I want to make a pair of socks either for myself or for somebody else and know exactly what I'm doing. I just want to read this really cute little thank you card that was included. Thank you for your purchase. As a token of our appreciation, we've included a free crescent tool for lifting needles. This, I know, is very, very handy from my Crankin. Scan the QR code to get instructions for setting up and using your machine. If you get stuck, please reach out. Your success is our priority. We hope you enjoy your new CSM and would love to see photos of your finished projects. Please tag us on Facebook and Instagram. Happy knitting. That is so sweet, and I'm so glad that they have instructions that are easy to find and that I can have a little bit of support because Lord knows I'm gonna need it.